So what's going on, guys? This is Infinity here, and today we are doing another roster review. I have to give this guy a shout out because he actually donated to me and I'm really grateful for that. He's my first donator, so yeah, he's really supporting the channel. He's helping me to bring new content to the table. So let's just get right into it. It seems like he's really doing well in Fleet Arena. So let's just sort by power. And let's check out his ships. He's running the Hans Millennium Falcon with Houndstooth. That's the meta at the moment, so that's really great. Your ships are looking really solid. If I were you, I would give a little bit more attention to the Phantom 2 if you really want to shine in fleets. But I have no doubt you're probably already hitting place number 1 if you really want to. And yeah, just not that much to talk about in the rebel ships. Let's just look at your rebel ships for a second. Yeah, that's pretty good. Biggs is just, Wedge is just gear 11, but yeah, that's fine. Wait, why is your ghost actually that low? So you have Hans Millennium Falcon, but you don't have Ghost and Phantom 2 max. That's pretty interesting. Well, if you have any time, any spare time, I would give some attention to the Ghost and the Phantom 2. But your ships are looking really solid, man. Really, really solid. Do you have 6 dot mods on your Bosk though? Yeah, if you want some more durability on the Houndstooth, you could give him 6 dot mods like you have here. Um, but yeah, your fleet's looking really good. You've got that the Hans Millennium Falcon at 7 stars as well. So props to you. So let's get into the characters. Let's just sort it by faction. So we're gonna go to Bounty Hunters first, because that's first on the list. Your Bounty Hunters are looking really solid. Let's check your mods on Bosk. So you've got Protection with Speed, Tenacity with Speed, and Protection. You've got Defense with Speed. You've got Speed with Critical Chance, Nasty. Yeah, it's a fine mod because its primary is speed and Bosk really needs to be speedy. So this is a solid mod as well, and this is a solid mod. Let's check out your speed. 276, nothing to complain about. 101% tenacity, that's really damn impressive. That's impressive, man. Let's check out your Greedo. Modded for crit chance, crit damage. What's your crit chance at? %56. That's pretty solid because with the Threaten ability you'll get critical chance up anyway. So you'll probably keep critting all day long with the Greedo. Modded Boba for critical chance, critical damage as well. Looking pretty solid. Yeah, the potency is pretty low, but I don't think you're running Boba lead but Bosk lead. Do you have a Zeta Bosk though? Yeah, you have a double Zeta Bosk. I would keep the Bosk lead. Yeah, don't go for Boba lead. So you've got IG88. I'm gonna check his mods. Critical chance and potency. That's probably because of this ability. Yeah, speed's looking good. Potency is fine, but if I were you, 34% potency is not that much. So you could replace the potency set with another critical chance set, or go as you went with Boba and um, what's his face? Greedo, and just mod him for crit chance and crit damage. You could also no, that's a pretty solid one. Yeah, you could just mod him for crit damage and critical chance. I think that would be better on IG88 because you didn't go really heavy on him with potency. So if you don't go all out with potency, you probably won't have that much profit out of IG88. So your Django is gear 11, looking pretty solid. If you want my opinion for investments, I would bring up Embo because he is a really solid character and he could do crazy damage. And I mean like crazy damage. Um, I saw him in Gran Arena once, and he took all the protection of my Yoda with his with let me check with his first special with Kyuzu War Helmets. It deals physical damage to the target enemy. This attack deals bonus damage equal to 35% of Embo's max protection. Then Embo loses 50% protection. So you don't have him modded, but you have him at gear 7 or gear 8? Gear 7. I would give him some protection mods, so you can at least use him for if you ever see a crap team in Grand Arena, or if you are ever gonna mod him, I would mod him for protection and offense, because he's just gonna throw his helmet, and that's gonna be the biggest part of his damage. So the rest of your bounty hunters are looking pretty good, but I'm going to go to the clone troopers. Your clone troopers are looking pretty good compared to my guild's clone troopers. They didn't invest in them at all. So you're probably going to have some nice synergy with Shakti in a second, because she's probably gonna come out Thursday as a marquee. And yeah, you're gonna have a pretty solid team. You could invest some gear in them, but I believe they cost in total like 15 Carbonti to max. So you could skip on them for now, and yeah, if you see what Shakti could do with the clones in reality, you could give it a shot and invest in them. But I wouldn't do it yet. So yeah, we're not gonna look at droids yet. We're gonna see them in their factions in a second. We're gonna look at Empire. So your Empire characters. Um, you have a pretty solid EP team with. You're probably running it with Grand Admiral Tron, Darth Vader, TFP, and I don't know your fourth, maybe another Sith. or Grand Moff Tarkin. Your Imperial troopers are looking pretty good as well, but we're gonna get to them in a second. Your RIPD, you don't need him geared up that much, as long as he could survive long enough to blow up, to self-destruct. So you've modded him with health, that's solid enough. You're not running Empire in Arena, but let's take a look at your mods on Palpatine really quickly. Protection, potency. I'm actually curious why you went with an offset. Maybe it's because of the speed, but I would make this a potency set. This mod and this mod, I would make it potency set. Because he has 76% potency. It's good, but you could do better. And the speed is 216. That's a pretty solid speed for a Palpatine. So let's take a look at your Death Trooper for a second. Another few odd sets. I would pick one thing and just is it a crit is this a crit damage? Yeah, it is. Alright, if I were you, I would just mod him for pure offense, or give him a little bit survivability, because he's going to give death mark, and this stack's already guaranteed to be a critical hit. If there are any defeated enemies, also inflict death mark for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Targets defeated by terminate can't be revived. So it's gonna be guaranteed a critical hit, so I would mod him for offense or crit damage. Either one of the two, whichever mods are better for him. If you got some critical damage mods with offense secondaries, that would be the best way to go. I would change this to offense. I would keep this crit damage. I would keep this offense, and protection is really good. So, well, that's just my opinion on Death Trooper. And we're gonna cover Imperial Troopers in a second, don't worry. Let's look at your Ewoks. You're probably gonna be ready. Oh wait, you already had C-3PO. I saw that out of the corner of my eyes. So if you have the time, you could invest in Ewoks, because they are a really good team in Grand Arena. And then I mean Chief Chirpa, Wicket, Bablu, Logray, and Ewok Elder. They are a really solid team in defense for Grand Arena. Except if your opponent has Nest. That's gonna be really annoying. If your opponent has a Nest with high tenacity, I would keep your bears for offense to try and get a lot of banners, because they are gonna get so much turn meter. Some teams won't even take a turn, or if they do take a turn, they'll be out of the battle really quickly. So your first order. Gear 11. Pretty solid, but if I were you, I would run Kylo Ren Unmasked, Kylo Ren, First Order Officer, First Order Executioner, and... well, actually, you could leave First Order Officer out and go with First Order Officer SF TIE Pilot and First Order Stormtrooper. First Order Stormtrooper is a really solid, so you really need to have him in your team. You need to have Stormtrooper, Kylo Ren Unmasked, Kylo Ren, and Executioner in a team. And then the third character is gonna be either First Order Officer or First Order Starfighter TIE Pilot. That's what. That's just my opinion, but Kylo Ren masked can give turn meter as well, so you don't need First Order Officer for the extra bonus turn meter. Just look up some videos of how Kylo Ren does in First Order teams on YouTube, because he could do what Order Officer is doing, at least a little bit like First Order Officer. And if you give the team First Order Starfighter TIE Pilot and First Order Stormtrooper, you're gonna make it a lot more survivable, because the Stormtrooper is gonna give buffs to the whole team. Let me check it out for a second. All allies gain 25% turn meter and defense up for 4 turns. That's gonna be really, really good for Kylo Ren unmasked. He's gonna gain defense up, and he's a tank. He's a pretty solid tank as well. I'm gonna check out your mods for a second. So, if you use First Order Stormtrooper, you're gonna have a defense buff. You're probably not gonna be needed to mod him for defense then. You're going to need him modded for protection here, which you already have. I would do tenacity or protection here. Well, protection here indeed. And protection here. And after that, I would really focus on either health mods or tenacity mods. I would do tenacity mods because if you have a high tenacity Kylo Ren, with First Order Stormtrooper, the defense buff, it's gonna be really annoying to get through him, because he probably won't be able to get debuffed easily. Maybe if you yeah, if you mod up for tenacity tanks are really annoying to deal with always. If you can stick dots to Kylo or healing immunity with like Anakin, it's gonna be annoying to take Kylo Ren unmasked down. So wait, I'm gonna show you why I want Starfighter TIE Pilot in your lineup. It's because of this ability. Deal special damage to all enemies and inflict defense down for 2 turns on each critical hit enemy. So that's really good. And this ability. Deal special damage to target enemy and call target's other ally to assist. If the other ally is First Order, they gain advantage for 2 turns. So that's some critical hits. That's gonna be solid. And also this attack. Wait, you didn't have it maxed. If you have this ability maxed, I believe if you call in a First Order ally, they also stun the target enemy. And this one, I don't know what the Omega does. I'll check it in a second on my account, because I've got him. I've got his Omegas. And this is also a really solid ability. You should really look into him. Let's get to your Galactic Republic. So you've got Barrish, you've got GK, you've got Rex, you've got Anakin. Your Ahsoka is not that highly geared, so you do have Padme though. If I were you, my next focus would be the Padme team, even though it's a heavy investment. I know you're gonna unlock Darth Revan and Malak, so I wouldn't give her the new pieces, but I would really look into gearing Ahsoka. That would be my tip. Gearing Ahsoka up to gear 12. That should be your next gear 12, because if you have that team ready, even if Padme isn't Gear 12. If you give her Zeta on her leadership ability, you'll gain a lot more protection. I'll show you in a second on my account because I can show all the Omegas and Zetas and all that kind of stuff really easily. So the rest of your Galactic Republic is looking pretty decent. No complaints here. So Geos, you've got them 7 stars, so you'll be fine for now. If you have Newt Gunray, do you have Newt Gunray? You could get them under Newt lead and take down some B grade teams if you give them a little bit more gear, like till gear 11. But I wouldn't invest in them yet because they need, especially Sunfac, he needs a lot of Carbantes. So, no, not healer, Imperial Trooper. So your imps are looking pretty good. They are looking really solid. Fierce gear 11 with a Zeta. That's on his unique, right? Yeah. Your Imperial Troopers are looking pretty impressive. Let's take a look at their mods. So you've got him modded for speed. If I were you, I would mod Veers for critical chance and critical damage. Because your Imperial Troopers are gonna need to do a lot of damage. You really only want your Stark to be fast. You really only want him to be fast. So I would give the best speed mods in your Imperial Troopers team to Stark. So he can go first. Especially against Night Sister teams. Because that's gonna be really helpful. Alright, next up. Death Trooper. So yeah, we already went over him. I just forgot. Short Trooper, I would mod him for like health because this is gonna give all allies a recovery of 24% of Short Troopers max health, and they're gonna gain critical hit immunity for 2 turns. So that's gonna be really amazing. He's gonna need to heal the whole team up. So just mod him for health. Just switch out this health mod and give him some extra health. Snow Trooper, he's gonna be needed to be modded for crit chance and crit damage as well. Because you really want to do this attack and spam it over and over and over and over again. Because for each critical hit scored, reduce the cooldown of this ability by 1. So you really want to have Snow Trooper modded for critical chance. That's gonna be key for him. If you're gonna be scoring critical hits all the time, you could just spam this over and over again and kill Night Sister teams like yesterday. So, Rage Trooper. I have him modded for crit chance and crit damage, but you could choose to mod him for health and protection. But I really like him to do a lot of damage. Yeah, that's just how I like him modded. So let's go to the next category, Jawas. You've got Jawas maxed, at least the SARS maxed. That's pretty impressive, man. Props to you. That's incredible. I never find the time to farm them to 7 stars. So Jedi in general, your Jedi are looking really solid. We're gonna look at Revenant second. Night Sisters are looking really good. If I were you, I would level up Night Sister Spirit. She is an easy farm, and if you run Mother Tells in lead with Asajj Ventress, Oldaka, Zombie, and Spirit modded for offense, purely offense, she is gonna do so much damage. She won me last Grand Arena. My opponent, he messaged me, I'll show it in a second. He said my spirit, my Gear 9 spirit, I believe, took out his R2D2, and that won me the Grand Arena. So she's gonna stun, and she's gonna do a lot of damage. I'll show her abilities on my account because I've got no, I'll show them here. At the end of Knight's Spirit turns, she gains Foresight for 1 turn. While she has Foresight, she has 100% offense and her attacks ignore armor. So that's why she hits really hard. Most people look over that, but if she has Foresight, she could really, really annoy your opponents if you put Night Sisters on defense. And it could surprise them, it could give you the victory you need. So deal physical damage to target enemy, dispel all buffs on them, and inflict stun for 1 turn. That is a really solid ability, and her basic gives speed down, I believe. Oh no, it only removes turn meter. It's like basically the same thing. And you gain that turn meter equal to the amount removed. So that's really solid. I would mod her for offense purely. Offense and speed. Nicest Zombie, you need to mod her for speed, purely speed. You've got her modded for speed, that's really great. You've got a defensive set on her, that's really good as well. And let's go to your Daka. Speed and health. I would really mod her for speed, health. Just purely health. You could run her with a speed set like you're doing right now. That's gonna annoy a lot of people. Well, if you want, you can just keep the speed set on. Just be sure to make all these. Yeah, your old Daka is modded pretty good. No complaints actually about her. So your Talzin. Protection, that's good. Protection, I would make this offense. Well, actually, I'll show you my Talzin in a second. And I'm gonna show you why she works really good. So your Asajj, you've got her modded for critical chance, and you've got an incomplete critical damage set. I would give her an offensive set because she's gonna get offense stacking and max health stacking. So I would mod her for pure offense. I'm gonna show you my Night Sisters in a second. They're really low gear, but they work really good. So your Old Republic. This is what I'm most curious about. You're running a speed set on your Revan, and you're probably 308. Wow, that's impressive, and even some critical damage. Wow, no complaints here. Even 515 more damage. Wow, this is a really impressive Revan. Your Revan would annihilate mine. Literally. So Bastila Shan. You've got her modded for a Jedi Revan team. That's really good. Let's check her speed. 250. And let's check Yoda's speed. Yeah, that's fine. She's gonna give the buffs to Yoda before before he goes. At least, no, never mind, because he's gonna get the messages. If you're gonna mod Yoda, just go. Yeah, you went pure offensive. That's great. How much damage can your Yoda do? So you've got no critical damage extra, but you've got 6,381 offense. It's a good Yoda. Yeah, it's a really good Yoda, but no complaints. But I would try and get him a little more offensively modded. I'll show my Yoda in a second, because I was really lucky with offensive mods, and that's gonna be really fun to show. So you're running Hoda with a speed set, just pure speed. That's fine. Pure speed is always good on Hoda. If you're no complaints. Just speed on Hoda is really great. Um, all right. Let's check your Old Republic again, and let's check your Zalbar. He should be modded for tenacity. Tenacity for sure. Tenacity and crit avoidance. He's gonna get crit avoidance here, 25%. He's gonna get crit avoidance here, and tenacity and potency. So that's already 55% crit hit immunity. So if you replace this mod with a crit immunity set, arrow, it would benefit you greatly. And if you give him like all tenacity mods, it's gonna give him all the shit he needs. And this should all be protection secondaries. This doesn't need to be tenacity secondary. I'm gonna show my Zalbar to you in a second, how I modded him, and you should aim for the same thing. He's working really well in Grand Arena for me. Almost no one's getting through my Old Republic in one go. So your mission is modded good. No complaints here. I would mod her for pure offense, but this is not bad at all. Not bad at all. I'm really impressed. Karth, he should be modded for crit damage and crit chance. Yes, he is. Speed's looking pretty good as well. And Juhani, modded for health and more health. Well, that's good. I'm actually fine with that. Juhani is a really good tank, and she should be treated as a tank. Except if you want her to do some extra damage, because her deal physical damage to target enemy. This attack deals 10% more damage for each debuffed enemy. So if you want to mod her for offense, you can. Juhani is one of the only tanks I could recommend modding for offense, because she's gonna assist all the time in a Karth team. So let's move on to Phoenix. Phoenix is good, just for unlocking Tron probably. Rebels, oh jeez, that's a lot of Rebels to cover. I'm gonna go over the CLS team real quick. Modded for crit chance, crit damage, that's fine, that's really great. As well as you've got some really good speed on him, 246. So 3PO is probably modded for speed. Speed, potency. Yeah, that's a really solid 3PO. R2D2. Yeah, just mod him for speed and offense, because he is gonna give 10% of his max protection. He's gonna give 10% max health and 10% potency. And all Galactic Republic, droids, resistance, rebel allies gain 10% of R2D2's max protection, max health, max potency, until R2D2 is defeated. So, R2D2 is a really great character. No, I want to tap on Chewie. So you've modded Chewie good for crit damage. Oh, I would actually give him an offense cross. And that's good. And I would give him an offense arrow as well if I were you. Because 64% tenacity isn't going to do a lot for you. So I would just mod him for pure offense. Just pure offense. Go for the assists of Chewie. Chewie is a heavy critter. So if he assists, he's gonna do a lot of damage. Your Han's modded, really good. I would change this for offense. This is good. And you could keep this. You could keep that. But if you want, you could also change it to offense. The sets are really great though. And the rest of your rebels, yeah, they're just B and C grade teams actually. If you want me to review them another time, you could just ask me over Discord. So let's check your BB-8. Speed, but his mods are not finished. I would finish modding him, and indeed just for speed. Just for the speed. Because speed is key on BB-8. Resistance Trooper. I actually don't use him that much. Because he's like 3-star gear 4. And I think you've modded him correctly, but I don't use him that much, so I'm not gonna go over him. I believe you've got him modded pretty solidly. So let's go to your scoundrels. I want to see your nest. Have you modded her for tenacity? Yeah, I would mod her for tenacity. If you have a high tenacity nest, you could solo Ewoks, you could do a lot of things. And if you're gonna run her under a Kira lead, she's gonna regain all her protection. So that's a really solid combo. You could also I wanna see your L3. She should be modded for health and health only. Yeah, tenacity is fine as well, by the way. I would change this for health, change this for health, and change this for health. Because she's gonna gain health on her basic if she is prepared. 10% health stacking until the end of the encounter. That's really good. So mod her for health and speed. The rest of your scoundrels are looking pretty good. No complaints here. Let's look at your vendor Chewie. Yeah, you've got a max. That's really, really awesome, man. That's really awesome. I never get around to him. Alright. Let's check your separatists. Really solid separatists. You could do a Grievous team with Grievous, Count Dooku, B2, Newt, and Sunfac if you just get him up like 2 more gear tiers, or just use Geo Soldier. Alright, next. Sith. You've got Treya, Scion, Nihilus, Vader, Maul, Even Zeta Mall, that's awesome. You've got Savage, really? Sith Trooper Gear 12, wow. This is impressive. I'm just gonna go over Treya. If you want her to take on Revan teams, I would mod her for Tenacity and Crit Avoidance. But you've probably still modded her for the Treya meta. And that's fine as well. So speed on him. I've got him modded all for defense and health actually. And just because I want him to be more survivable. But speed isn't bad. Alright, you want the offensive mod and the critical chance mod to be health. And a speed set is always fine on Nihilus because you could get to annihilate quicker than the enemy. Darth Vader, we probably already went over him. Yeah, looking really good. Let's check out your Sith Trooper. You don't want him to be modded. Yeah, these are really great mods. Protection, I would, yeah, you could keep that, or you could change it. I would change this to be either. Oh, you've got 2000 protection on the secondary. Well, maybe switch the primary to protection because we're gonna get gear 13, and that's gonna be way better than those 2000 protection thingies over there. And I would change this to either protection. Yeah, oh, yeah. You've got 5% health and protection on this mod, secondaries. And it's an offensive mod, so it's gonna be valuable in Darth Revan teams. But you could change it to protection if you want. So, Bastila Fallen. She's gonna need a speed set, and the other set, just the two fastest mods you have got. So no complaints about her for now, because you're not running Darth Revan yet. Sith Empire. Yeah, we just saw that with Sith. Some smugglers, we already saw that. Let's check your Tuscans. You've got 3 of them 7-star. That's pretty good. Let's check out my teams. I'm gonna show you a few of my teams real quickly. I'm gonna show you my Yoda. So if I would mod my Yoda for pure offense, if I would switch this one out with, let's say an offense primary, because he's got some crit damage right now, and if I would change it with like, let's sort by offense. So if I would give him this, he would do 7k special offense. And that's really crazy. He's doing 6.8k at the moment, and he is not even gear 12 plus. I've just got, oh no, yeah, that's good. I have just got one gear 12 piece on him, and it doesn't do that much for him. So yeah, I got Yoda. I'm really happy with him. And my Zalbar. So I want to give him this piece because he's going to get 10% tenacity, and then I'll be at 140% tenacity. I want to get this mod out of here and this mod out of here and replace it with tenacity secondaries, but I don't have protection primary tenacity triangle. So that's what's keeping me from switching that one out. And I'm gonna show his stats. So he's got 140k protection and health. He's got 120 speed, that's really low. He's got 91% tenacity, that's gonna be plus 10% for the last gear 12 piece, and plus 20% for another set of tenacity. So that's already plus 30, that's 120. And then he is gonna gain like 30% from Karth. So that would mean he would be at 150% tenacity. Not a lot of teams gonna get through that. So that was my roster review for you. If you have any questions, just ask them over Discord. Oh wait, I want to show you my Talzin really quickly before I shut this video down. No, my spirit. It was my spirit that I wanted to show you. So I've got spirit modded for offense. She's just gear 8. And she already does her physical offense. 2000 physical offense. She's got 450 extra because of that. And her mods aren't really that great at the moment. I've got protection there because I don't have a offense primary mod with an offense cross. I'm running speed on her as well, but I'm gonna switch to purely offense in a few moments if I've got the mods for her. So Talzin, I've got her modded for offense as well. She's got really great special offense, and I can't complain about her tenacity at all. I mean potency at all. 27% extra potency, even though I didn't use a lot of potency stuff, only a potency cross. I used an offense triangle, offense arrow, protection circle, and just offense secondaries. So Asajj, I went really offensively heavy on Asajj. I don't have any offense sets left, but if I had it, I would replace the health set with offense sets. But I can't complain about this because it's already got 61 offense in the secondary. So that was my roster review for you. If you have any comments, just give them to me through Discord. And Infinity out.